Leaders and healers from around the globe, from around the universe. Welcome to the Power, Purpose, and Passion podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Cheam, speaker, life coach, trainer, love bug to the world, author. Just wanting to serve and love the world and give the best of myself to the world. This is a show where we help you claim your power, clarify your purpose, and cultivate your deepest and highest passions. So ultimately, you can show up and bring the best version of yourself to the world. So ultimately, you can teach others and inspire others to be the best version of themselves in the world. Again, thank you for joining us on this podcast. We are in the midst, right in the nucleus of this 9 steps to improving your relationship process. And just to kind of recap the first 4 steps, step number 1 is know thyself. Step 2, love languages. Step 3, personality traits and personality types, known as the DISC, personality type traits. And then number 4, which is what we did yesterday, which is called emotional or self-mastery. And today's session, today's step, today's upgrade is all about masculine and feminine energies and understanding your energy that you operate from, because this is going to go in line with your love languages. It's going to go in line with your upgrade in your personality types, knowing yourself a bit better. It all comes down to knowing yourself better and understanding your world better, upgrading your world, upgrading your perceptions, your beliefs, your values. So ultimately, again, you bring the best of you that is available in you, around you, through you. You can share with others. You can take in from others. We're integrating, because you can go from dependent to independent to interdependent, and we work together because we have one planet. We're all working on this together, which is why we are here today. So thank you for joining us. Cameron, how you doing, my friend?
Doing very, very good. I missed yesterday's podcast, but I did listen to the whole thing, and it was really well said. Everything, seriously. I want to say thank you to Farah for joining the live call here. She's in Facebook, and Stephanie Rita for commenting. So thank you guys for tuning in live.
What's going on?
This
I'm
is
ready
huge.
to serve you guys. Let's do it.
All right, so let's get into it. Masculine and feminine energies. I wrote it down, the crucial balance. So
yes,
let's dive right in.
Well, understanding, in order for there to be electricity, in order for our Earth to be spinning at 1,000 miles per hour, and for there to be north and south poles, there's got to be, or for our Earth to be spinning in perfect harmony around the sun, without moving in moving in perfect trajectory around the sun, there's got to be north and south poles in order for there to be an integration or a balance or a harmony between the two energies. For there to be a magnetism, there's got to be a north and south energies in a magnet. For electricity or charge to occur, there's got to be a positive and negative charge, whether it be a car battery or any battery that you're using, a AA battery or AAA battery. There's got to be a positive and negative charge for there to be energy, for there to be electricity, for there to be power in your relationship. Now, speaking of just intimate relationships, in order for there to be passion and attractiveness, there's got to be both a positive and a negative, or a masculine and feminine. If you're attracted to someone, it's either because you are feminine and the other person's masculine, or you're masculine and the other person's feminine. Now, this has nothing to do with genders. This has nothing to do with you being male and you as another person being female. It has nothing to do with that. You can actually be male and have feminine energy, operate out of higher feminine energy, and have a female, more masculine energy, and the relationship would still work. In fact, I know a lot of people that they're males and more feminine, and then female is more dominant masculine, and it works. There's attractiveness, and it does work. So it has nothing to do with male or female. This has to do with energies. So let's kick it off right now. Let's start with the masculine form, the masculine energy, which is more of my dominant energy, of course. And the three basic traits of the masculine energy is basically autonomy, rights, and justice. If you look at masculine energy, they're all about focus. They're all about taking something that's big and complicated and making it into something small, whereas the feminine is more making something small into something big. And so understanding masculine energy is about directedness. It's about focus. It's about determination. It's about kicking butt and taking names and going to a conclusion, transcending to the next level of evolution. In the science world, if you look at cells, or quantum particles, or quantum, particles like, your quarks and quantum subatomic particles had to evolve into atoms, and atoms into molecules, and molecules into cells, and cells into organisms. That is the essence of masculine energy, going up and transcending and evolving. That is the essence of masculine energy. It's not about going down, which is what we're going to talk about with the feminine. But if you look at it in our everyday life, masculine energy is all about, people that are in business. You need masculine energy to be focused. You need masculine energy to run a business. You need masculine energy to put a plan together and conquer through fears and break through. Oftentimes, I coach a lot of my teenage boys, and they're like, how do I harness my masculine energy? Find something that's hard and break through it, whether it be working out or find a challenge like rock climbing or doing something that literally, and for females too, who want to channel that strength, that courage. In order to do that, you too can turn on. And by the way, for females have masculine energy and feminine. We all have both energies in us, but there is a essence or an energy that we lean more towards operationally on a daily basis. Now, here's the great thing about me and masculine energy. And again, with every energy, for every quality that you have, there is a dark side and a light side. There's a strength and a weakness, a healthy side and an unhealthy side. So the healthy side for the masculine energy is all about going to the next level. It's about autonomy. They can break through things on their own, knowing your identity without any relationships around you, knowing who you are without any relationships. That's also the good news and the bad news, because the masculine energy oftentimes isolates themselves too much and goes to work, comes home, and goes to their cave. If you men are watching this, trust me when I say this, there's a reason feminine women that men go home, they've just basically expended so much energy at work, they come home and they go to their caves. And feminine energy is like, well, they scratch their head, go, why do they do that? Because that's what masculine energy does. They expend energy, and how they solve problems is by going into their cave and just kind of figure things out, distract themselves for a while, and then they return back to you. That's the opposite of feminine. The feminine energy is more about solving the problems through talking with other people, through talking it out, not by necessarily getting advice, but just by talking it out with people and being around friends. Why does a group of feminine women at a restaurant, for example, go to a restaurant and go to the bathroom together? Because they want to talk about everything and share everything. Masculine men will never do that. Not to say that they won't do that, but cross-culturally speaking, in terms of energy, it's just, and whether that's looked to pat down upon or not, but two men going to the washroom, I really don't care. But the point is that, again, it's all about togetherness for the feminine energy. So the first trait of the masculine is autonomy. The second one is rights. And the third one is justice. They fight for rights, they fight for justice, and they fight for peace. And so that's what the essence of masculine is, breaking through, going for. So let me ask you a question. So if you're contemplating, well, am I that masculine? Know that if you are more all about going to the next level, and you're more about being alone at certain times, and you're more about rights and justice and breaking through to the next level, you're probably more masculine energy. Now, the feminine side, the three traits that basically qualify or quantify a feminine energy are communion, caring, and responsibility. So if you're more about, rather than just going up to the next level and succeeding and success and accomplishment, you're not about transcending, you're more about descending and all caring about your relationships. You seek identity not through your own contemplation, but through your relationships. And so the good part of that is that without the feminine energy, man, we need relationships. They take something that's small and make it big. They take a flower and they turn it into this massive, crazy experience. And so it's all about making relationships, developing relationships with God, with nature, with family, with friends, mother, father, sister, brother, son, daughter, husband, wife, whatever, boyfriend, girlfriend. It's all about that. That's the good side. The downside of feminine energy, the dark side, the unhealthy side, is that they fuse too much to the side of relationships, that they seek identity through relationships too much. So what essentially happens is they identify the relationships and they basically define themselves through the relationships and don't know who they are independent of those relationships. Where masculine energy finds their identity more so on their own, independent of their relationships. But that's a good thing. But here's the dark side of that. They oftentimes will basically push the relationships away. So as I heard Tony Robbins say one time, masculine energy teaches a woman how to die and identify themselves as a relationship or as a human being outside the relationship. A feminine energy identifies masculine energy defines their energy, themselves outside the relationship. Feminine energy teaches a man or masculine energy how to live, how to connect with everything about them. So just to review, it's a lot to take in, but the first part, masculine energy, all about autonomy, rights and justice, and transcending to the next level. Feminine energy is all about relationships, caring, and communion, and going downward. They don't really care so much about going success. They're more about including. So a great example or metaphor of this, I talked about quantum particles evolving to atoms, to molecules, to cells. Here's the reality. The cells must reach down to the molecules and the atoms and the quantum subatomic particles. Otherwise, what happens is there's no cell that can be created. So the cells must then include the lower, the molecules, the atoms, the subatomic particles. So there's got to be an integration of energies of not just let's go full out masculine, transcend, success. It's also about going down, including the lower. So the masculine energy goes up and reaches up, and feminine energy goes down and reaches down below them. And again, masculine energy is all about autonomy, rights, and justice. Feminine energy is more about communion, caring, and relationships. So the first part of this, now there's a lot there that you could take in, but the first part of this, I would suggest this: know what your energy is. Based on what I've told you, know thyself is the first step of improving your relationships. Of the 9 steps, know thyself. What do you lean more toward? What is your center? What is your core? Is it more masculine? Is it more feminine? Are you more about relationships? Are you more about caring? Are you more taking responsibility for the lower and descending and not care about transcending? Or are you more about breaking through to the next level of your evolution? Let's go, and all about fighting for rights and justice and freedom, all these things. You just want to go to the next level. You're probably more masculine. And then the second part of that, understand what your partner is, whether your boyfriend or girlfriend, husband, wife, son or daughter, mother, father. Understand other people's, just like we did with love languages and personality types. Understand what you are, understand other people, and then go to work to go, okay, if, for example, in an intimate relationship, for sexual attraction to occur, there's got to be a positive and a negative charge, a masculine and feminine charge. And here's the great thing. I'm more masculine, yes, but I can turn on my feminine and my wife can turn on her masculine, and there would still be sexual attraction. So you can actually play. So where there's neutrality occurs is when both of you are masculine, and then there's like a repelling going on, or a depolarization. But in certain cases, you're not going to want to be sexually attracted to someone in certain contexts of life. If you're doing your taxes, there's not going to be a sexual attraction. But if, for example, let's say you wanted to regain that sexual attraction for your partner, intimate relationship, then all one of you has to do is turn on your masculine and the other one turn on the feminine, or one of you turns on your feminine and turns on your masculine. Again, feminine is more playful and just crazy and wild. Masculine is about directiveness, strength, and courage and focus and breaking through to the next level. So all you need to do is understand what the qualities of the energies are, and then know what your partner is, and then turn on the opposite energy, and then sexual attraction will occur. Now, what makes a relationship work is love. What makes a relationship passion and intimate is polarization and understanding these energies at a deep level in your intimate relationship. How this will help you in business, in your personal life? Well, let me tell you something. I used to be more feminine, truthfully. I used to be all about relationships and caring. I'm an extrovert. I'm more of an I in the personality type role, and all about caring. I could care less about doing well and succeeding. And then I started to understand and claim that masculine charge in me. And I started to break through to the next level. I started to appreciate my feminine and appreciate my masculine, and then integrate both charges so I could live a more whole life, to understand the north and the south poles, the positive and negative charges that exist innately in every single human alive. And so know that there's dark sides and there's light sides to each of the energies. But I want you to understand this in order to live fully, integrally, comprehensively in this world. You want to not just claim what energy you possess and operate from, but also honor and claim the energy that you're not like, because there's strengths in there that are innately inside you that you're not operating from, that you're not claiming.
All right. That was a lot. I love it. Okay. So you guys got a basic understanding of the balance between masculine and female energy. So what if someone's sort of in the middle of both, and maybe both parties are in the middle of both, and nobody's actually stepped up to sort of take on a certain role?
Well, that actually happens. And if there's some relationships, and I guess I should talk about this in one of the steps, improving relationships, but there's basically 6 levels of intimacy. And then you have the basic levels, you got a little bit higher, and then there's real strong sexual attraction. But the idea is that if both are neutral and there's no sexual attraction, you're basically just friends. right? What makes the difference between me having my wife and one of my friends that I've known since, elementary school? The difference is the intimacy in a relationship. Otherwise, she's just a friend of mine if I'm not intimate with my partner. So there's nothing wrong with that, with having both, like a male and a female, at both neutral energies. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you feel like you want more adventure, uncertainty, variety in your relationship, more passion, then one of you has to step up, either going up more feminine and more masculine, and then a charge will then begin to occur. It just happens that way. In fact, there's been many times where my wife and I we would be neutral energy, and then I would either turn my masculine or she would turn our feminine on, and I'm like, whoa, my wife is just unbelievably attractive right now, and just because she's more feminine, more playful, more cheerful, more crazy and wild, then all of a sudden my masculine energy got turned on, and then it was instant sexual attraction. So the idea of, again, that has to do with intimate relationships, but I'm talking about if you're looking at just overall life, if you want to succeed, get the promotion at your work, then what do you think energy would serve you more, masculine or feminine? Masculine. Like if you're at work and you're like, hey guys, like, not, again, this is generalization, but if you're more feminine energy at work and you're kind of just wanting to just be playful and just cheerful, you're probably not going to get that promotion. I'm not saying that you won't. In certain jobs that will actually want you to be more like that. Like, if example, if you're maybe a secretary, if you're, working at a bar maybe, or whatever occupation you're doing. So there's exceptions to every rule. But the point is, if you're looking to get a promotion at your corporate job, it takes masculine energy. Turn on your masculine energy. Take focus, set a goal, set an objective, and go after it with pure focus and courage. Now, here's the interesting thing about all this that we're talking about. You can turn on these energies at any moment in time. And that's one of the keys to energy maturity, that I like to call it. Masculine, feminine energy maturity and advancement is being able to navigate and turn on each of your energies. So the idea for overall expansion and overall life experience, understand that when you are actually in more of a masculine energy charge and you want to break through, you need to learn how to turn that on in your body, in your mind, in your emotions. Again, strength, courage, determination, desire, hunger. Those are qualities of a masculine energy. Now, feminine energy is all about playfulness, taking something that's small and making it just expand to the next dimension and play. I mean, there was a seminar I went to, and there's a woman on stage, and this is how powerful this is. There's a woman on stage, and they were doing like a masculine, feminine energy type exercise. And there was a woman on stage who was, I personally wasn't attracted to. And all of a sudden they did this exercise where she would ignite and turn on her feminine energy. And all of a sudden I was like, whoa, that woman I became drawn to her. It was like unbelievable. Feminine energy came out, and I was like, whoa, I was actually really attracted. And even the person doing the seminar was like, wow, how many people in here would actually be attracted to her just normally before she walked up? How many men in here were actually attracted to her after we did the exercise? And every single man's head, or a lot of the majority of their hands went up. So it's all about navigating that. I know with my children, I have to be, sometimes I got to be more father-like. I got to be more masculine charge-like. And then the feminine energy turns on sometimes when I'm being more playful with them before we go to bed, telling them I love them and being sweet and cuddly with my kids. I'm a little bit more studied a little longer, but the point remains the same, that understanding these energies, these charges, and knowing when to turn them on, when to turn them off, and when to be neutral is a part of living the highest superhuman life.